لا سيما على أفضل الرسل وخاتم الأنبياء وعلى آله وصحبه ومن بهديه مقتدى. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. صدق الله وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك لمن الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Respected Imam and my dear respected brothers in Islam, first of all I would like to pay thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who provided us this ample opportunity to get together after Salat al-Fajr, which is Mashhudul Malaika, inna Salat al-Fajr kana mashhuda. For the sake and good pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to talk a little bit in the light of Quran and Sunnah. And secondly, I want to pay thanks to all of you as well. We are living in an environment and in such a place where people are too much busy. Life is very tough. Everyone in the family has to run and to earn something. So in such life situation, giving some time for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is a type of jihad as well. My dear respected brothers in Islam, I think that most of you are from Arabian countries. Is it right? Is it right or not?
Yes,
most. Not really.
Huh?
Not really.
Not really? Okay. So anyhow, but the word jihad is such a word, then don't worry, I'm not taking you to any front to fight. But anyhow, the word jihad is such a word and term which is known in Muslim community. Maybe they are Arab or non-Arab, because that is a common word in all lughat and all languages. But in Arabic language, they say mushtaqum min al-jahd or min al-juhd. That this word jihad is derived either from word jahal or from word juhd. And what it means striving hard, working hard, making efforts, go to your utmost as far as the job is concerned. So this is also a type of jihad here in this busy life, to sit for a while for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to listen to Quran and Sunnah. As you know, that in Islam certain permissible things are turning to ibadah based on niyyah and intention. A hadith which is very famous, not according to the riwayat or riwayah, but famous in a sense that mostly the Muslim knows this hadith and they refer it in their talk. And that hadith is narrated by Sayyidina Umar bin Khattab raziyallahu ta'ala an. I think today is the second day of Muharram. Yes, yesterday was the first, and a coincidence that when Sayyidina Umar raziyallahu ta'ala an, he was appointed as a Khalifa. So Islamically, for appointing a Khalifa, there are a few ways mentioned by Fuqaha of all four schools of jurisprudence. I don't say school of thoughts, because when we say school of thoughts, it means they have made or established a deen from their own thinking. While none of these imams has ever said anything from their own wish and desires. They tried to their best how to explain a text, how to make a patch-up between two contradicting texts of Quran and Hadith, or how to implement it and to do tatbiq. My dear respected brothers in Islam, so now, the word jihad, which is from jihad, or from juhud, making efforts. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَجَاهِدُوا فِي اللَّهِ حَقَّ جِهَادِهِ. So I was referring to Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. When he turned to Khalifa, that was one way of appointing a Khalifa. As you know, that Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he was appointed by the elders of Medina after the death of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. When Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam went back to Allah, Ansar, they gathered together in a place close to Masjid al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in Medina, known by the name of Saqifatu Bani Sa'ida. And still, that place is preserved. Maybe some of you, they know about that. And maybe some of you, they passed by, but they couldn't recognize that this is the same place. Where from the Khilafah established, where from the Khilafah took place. So they got together. Who will be successor of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? It doesn't mean to rule the ummah, to lead the ummah. Because for a ruler, that is must, an Islamic concept, to lead ummah to their proper destination. So they got together that who will be successor of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Ansari Medina, they took a plea. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was the messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And after him, we are the natives of Medina. We are the original inhabitants of Medina. So there, we have to be the Khalifa of after the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And they say that of course Muhajirin of Makkah are from all around the world, because at that time Hijrah, that was requirement of Iman, and that was requirement of La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. It was first at that time on Muslim, mandatory for them to come to Medina and to support the newly established society and the newly established state. So they said that Muhajirin, of course, they will take a plea, but we have to stick to our mawqif and our stand. We have to lead the ummah. So now, Sayyidina Umar radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he came to know that such a process is taking place there in Saqifatu Bani Sa'ida. فَجَاءَ إِلَىٰ أَبِي بَكْرٍ وَأَخَذَ بِيَدِهِ وَقَالَ تَعَالَ مَعِي أَدْرِكْ هَٰذِهِ الْأُمَّةِ. That this ummah is going to divide. Imam Damad Barakatuhum, he mentioned, yes, beginning of Islamic society or Muslim society. So my dear respected brothers, the first thing for Muslim society, that is unity. But unity based on deen, not on the cost of deen. Sometimes we are compromising the basic concepts of deen, and we are doing it with the intention of unity. Bro, that unity is not meant anywhere. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَاعْتَصِمُوا, say, بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not mention mutlaqan without any sila, but harful jar. In hablillah mudaf and mudafun ilayh al-majroor. Yes. So technically it is called the sila of the verb, because that is connected or muta'alliq bil fa'il. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not mention mutlaqan, but conditional. Means put a sila that be united, but bihablillah, on the rope of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what is the rope of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Basically that is Holy Quran. As in a hadith narrated by Haris A'war radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, that marartu bi unasin fil masjid. I was passing by people who were sitting there in Masjid of Kufa. And Masjid of Kufa, it was built by whom? We have to know our history. Because Kufa in that area, it was conquered when? In the time of Fazlullah. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? No. In the time of Sayyidina Abu Bakr? No. In the time of Sayyidina Umar Raziyallahu Ta'ala. So, anyhow, and who conquered that area? Yes. I'm not testing you. I'm not putting you to examination. But I try to draw your focus and your attention to listen this, because those who ignore and forget about their history, they cannot do anything good in future or in present even. You have duty to connect it to your own history. So that's in the time of Umar ibn al-Khattab, Raziyallahu Ta'ala an, under the command of Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, Raziyallahu Ta'ala an. My dear respected brothers in Islam, so Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, Raziyallahu Ta'ala an, he built up that Masjid al-Kufa, and close to the masjid, as he was wali there, he was the governor there, so he built up, yes, as office structure and also a residence which was called the Darul Imara. So that masjid is built up by Sayyidina Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, Raziyallahu Ta'ala an, the general at that time leading the army there in Qadisiyah, going all the way to Madayan. You know this history. Because Iraq is not only one Iraq. There are two Iraqs. Yes. One is called Al-Iraq al-Farisi, and the second one is called Al-Iraq al-Arabi. Kufa is the center of Al-Iraq al-Arabi, and Basra was considered as the part of, or the capital of Al-Iraq al-Farisi. And someone who used to be the governor of the area, he was called as Wali of Al-Iraqin, of two Iraqs, Al-Iraq al-Arabi and Al-Iraq al-Farisi. My dear respected brothers in Islam. So anyhow, Harisi Awar, he says, Marartu ala unasin fil masjidi yakhuduna fil ahadis. I passed by people sitting in different groups, and they were talking or they were diving there in ahadith. So ahadith doesn't mean ahadith of Fazlullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Ahadith, and they were talking about dunya and their business and things like that. So he says, فَأَتَيْتُ عَلِيًّا. Because you know, that capital in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam was Medina. In the time of Abu Bakr was Medina. In the time of Umar al-Faruq was Medina. In the time of Sayyidina Osman, it was Medina. And in the time of Sayyidina Ali, after a while, it was transferred from Medina to Kufa. Because an idea came that futuh or conquest, enlarge the Islamic country and Islamic Khalafa. So Medina is no more the center of the country or Islamic state. And for a capital, it has to be there in the center of the country. So now Kufa should be the capital. And that was signed by Sayyidina Ali, because majority of Sahaba and Tabi'een, they gave their opinion in this regard. But still, some Sahaba, Rizwanullahi alayhim ajma'een, they were not feeling relaxed with that transfer of capital from Medina because of the barakah of Medina. In al-Iman, لَيَعْرُضُ إِلَى الْجَنَّةِ كَمَا تَعْرُضُ الْحَيَّةُ إِلَى جُحْرِهَا وَكَمَا قَالَ عَلَيْهِ الصَّلَاةُ وَالسَّلَامُ. So anyhow, that was agreed upon to transfer the capital from Medina to Kufa. Rasul Sayyidina Ali Raziyallahu Ta'ala an felt that some Sahaba, they are not feeling ease and relaxed with this transfer. So he gave a free will to all of them, that those who want to join me, they should go with me to Kufa. Those who want to stay behind in Medina, I will not force them. And those who want to go to Mecca, or to go to Alexandria in Egypt, or to go here and there in different areas, so they are free, they can go there. So Sayyidina Ali Raziyallahu Ta'ala an, he moved to Kufa, and then this masjid, that became the masjid of Darul Khalafa. It did not remain the masjid of Darul Imara. and the Darul Imara, they transferred to Darul Khalafa. It did not remain as Darul Imara because now that was attributed to the Khalifa, not to the Wali and to the governor. So that Masjid Harisi Awar is mentioning that I was passing by people there sitting in different halaqah and talking about worldly things and worldly attachment. فَأَتَيْتُ عَلِيًّا رَضِيَ اللَّهُ تَعَالَى عَنْهُ. I came to Sayyidina Ali رَضِيَ اللَّهُ تَعَالَى عَنْهُ, and I told him that people are sitting here and there talking about worldly affairs, while basically masjid is number one for ibadah, number two for ilm, number three for da'wah. But if we will turn the masjid into a club, it will never work. You will never have the support of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All these other activities are secondary. But primary activities of masjid is number one, ibadah, number two, ilm, and number three, da'wah. My dear respected brothers in Islam, so I told Ali, radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, so he said, أَوَقَدْ فَعَلُوا. Because that was something strange, that Muslims are sitting there in masjid, instead of talking about deen, they are talking about dunya and worldly affairs. أَوَقَدْ فَعَلُوا. قُلْتُ نَعَمْ. I said yes. فَقَالَ أَمَّا أَنِّي فَقَدْ سَمِعْتُ رَسُولَ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ. I heard the messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he said, إِنَّهَا سَتَكُونُ فِتْنَةً. That soon there will be a fitna. Or fitna, we call it mufrad, but ism jins in the meaning of jam'ah. Because ma'ana, ism jins, that is the jam'ah. So إِنَّهَا سَتَكُونُ fitna is in the meaning of سَتَكُونُ فِتَنٌ. That there will be lot of fitnas there. And unfortunately, one is fitna in the name of dunya. That is bad. But a fitna in the name of deen, that is worst. Yes, one is earning dollars in the name of dunya, that's okay. People are doing different businesses. But if somebody will make deen as a tool of income or as a source of income, treating it like as we treat our job and our business, that is worst. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, اقرأوا القرآن ولا تأكلوا به. Got it? So my dear respected brothers in Islam, so anyhow, Sayyidina Ali radiyallahu ta'ala anhu said, إِنَّهَا سَتَكُونُ فِتْنَةً. There will be lot of fitnas. قُلْنَا فَمَا الْمَخْرَجُ مِنْهَا يَا رَسُولَ اللَّهِ. So we said, oh the Messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whosoever stuck somewhere, he is looking for a way out. So when there are fitnas, so is there any way out from these fitnas? So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, Kitabullah. The book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a way out from all the fitnas. Fihi naba'u man qablakum. In this book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is the khabar of previous ummahs. That what happened to them. Those in Holy Quran, even though Quran is not a book of history, that is not a book of stories, but still Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made a lot of stories there. And these stories, these are, we say, علم التذكير بأيام الله. Ayyam is the plural of yawm. And yawm in Arabic language is in the meaning of hadisa or uhdusa, happening. A hadisa, like hawadis are happening in our life. Al-alam mahwar al-hadas. Because this alam is hadis, it came into existence from non-existence. And something which came into existence from non-existence, changes in every second will be taking place in there because that's its nature. Like our nature is to breathe. So we are breathing after 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, or every single second we are breathing. Say, because that's our nature. The angels of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they obey and do ita'a to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. عليها ملائكة غلاظ شداد لا يعصون الله ما أمرهم ويفعلون ما يؤمرون. A great muhaddis and a great scholar, Al-Imam Al-Shabi rahmatullahi alayh, who was the teacher of Imam Abu Hanifa and Imam Malik, both and lot of great scholars of Quran and Sunnah. Imam Shafi was their sheikh. So Imam Shafi, once he was explaining this, so he was saying, Al-ibadatu wal-ita'atu lahum kat-tanaffus lana. That obedience and ibadah and worship for angels is as natural as our breathing. So as we cannot stand still without breathing, the angels cannot stand still without obedience and without ibadah. Got it? So he said that al-ibadatu lahum kat-tanaffus lana. But anyhow, in this world or ephemeral world, the changes are taking place every single second. So I was referring to that Sayyidina Ali radiyallahu ta'ala anhu said, Kitabullah fihi naba'u man qablakum. So we call these stories al-tazkiru bi ayyamillah, that day is called yom because that's a happening. That's an event which happened and it is happening again and again. That's why it is called yom. So إِنَّا سَتَكُونُ فِتْنَةً قَالُوا فَمَا مَخْرَجُ مِنْهَا يَا رَسُولَ اللَّهِ قَالَ كِتَابُ اللَّهِ. The book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, فِيهِ نَبَوْ مَنْ قَبْلَكُمْ. There are the stories of ummahs before you, that what happened to those who accepted the da'wah of a prophet or messenger, and what happened to those who rejected the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَتِلْكَ مَسَاكِنُهُمْ خَاوِيَةٌ عَلَىٰ عُرُوشِهَا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you are passing by their remains. You are passing by their destroyed cities. Like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they mentioned the story of Shu'aib alayhi salatu wasalam. What area Shu'aib was sent as a prophet? Madyan. Jazakallah. Wa ila Madyana akhahum Shu'aiba. And which area Lut was sent as a prophet? Sadum. Jazakallah. And these two areas, they are adjacent to one another. Nowadays in modern Jordan, one is called the Valley of Lut and the other one is called the Valley of Shu'aib. Wadi Shu'aib and Wadi Lut, alayhim as-salawatu wa taslimat. Where these both valleys are situated? In Jordan. Where? In nowadays Jordan. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He mentioned there the story of Shu'aib and the story of Lut, that their people rejected their message. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that I destroyed both of them. And then Allah said that you are going on your business trip to that area. And that is the freeway you are using for your travel and your tijara or your business and your journey. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَإِنَّهُمَا لَبِإِمَامٍ مُبِينٍ. Purposely you are in no need of going there to see what happened to these two ummahs. But Allah says, وَإِنَّهُمَا لَبِإِمَامٍ مُبِينٍ. They are situated on the shore and side of freeway, you are going there. So just look there, what happened to these people? And what happened to these people? Got it? That is another strange thing, that we are not taking any ibrah and any lesson from these things. Winston Churchill, the Prime Minister of Britain of his own time, once he said that take a lesson from the mistakes of others, maybe you will never do that mistake in your life. If somebody has done wrong and the result is known there, so now the same practice cannot bring a different result there. That is against the concept given by Einstein. Einstein says that when you are doing an experiment, and what the result came in the lab, if another guy he is doing the same experiment, the result will not be different. And that's why a scientist has found when he is making an experiment there in his lab, some result came, what he was looking for, that came accordingly. Or what he was looking for, it came other way around, or he couldn't succeed there. So a scientist, he must be a sahibud diyana. Sahibud diyana means he may not be a cheater. He may not be fraud. Because that's the nature of science and philosophy, to speak out the truth what you observe and what you did. So he has to disclose that I succeeded in this experiment. What the result I was looking for, it came accordingly. And if that is other way around, he is bound to disclose that so nobody else may destroy his time or his money in this regard, that's not a successful experiment. So my dear respected, and that is laws of physics, rules of physics. All of you are qualified people, more qualified than me. I am only a student of Quran and Sunnah. But anyhow, the result is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, La tabdila li khalqillah. What is khalqullah? Yes, al-alam al-tabi'i. Al-alam al-tabi'i, the physical world. Allah has established a physical system in this world. Results are coming accordingly. That is something else. That when the Khaliq and the Creator, He intends and wills something other way around, so then He suspends the rules. Then He suspends the rules, like in Masr. Sayyidina Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, he was followed by Pharaoh and his army. Yes? So now, the ocean. What? The ocean has the big waves and lot of water. If someone who does not, who is not using a boat, is not using a boat or a ship or a life jacket, and he does not know how to swim, he will jump and enter the ocean. What will happen to him? Drown. So that is the nature of water. But here Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, along with Bani Israel, they entered the ocean or not? Say they had ships, boats, life jackets, swimming. Say. No, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala demanded the ocean. He suspended the nature of water in a sense that it stopped. It stopped. Maybe you have watched the movie The Ten Commandments. Have you? None of you? You are not living in America. Yes. So the Ten Commandments, yes, that's a movie about the life of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam. So there, once I said to my kids, they take me to that, because we are living very close to what? To Universal Studio. So I told my kid, they take me there. I want to know how they made this movie or that movie or that movie. How they start the water there in the movie. So anyhow, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَقُلْ نَضْرِبْ بِعَصَاكَ الْبَحْرِ. That hit the ocean with your stick. And he did it. Yes, now the children of Israel, they had a nature that we are 12 tribes. You know how many tribes? 12 tribes. And they say, we cannot drink water, let us die because of thirst, but we will not drink from the same fountain our cousins are drinking therefrom. They are that much in love with one another. So anyhow, my dear respected brothers in Islam, they say, no, we have to cross over the ocean, but not on the same route, on the same road, on the same passage where cousin tribe is going. So Musa said, oh Allah, they are looking for different roads. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, done. So then they crossed over. Now, for that purpose, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stopped or suspended the laws of physics, which is called mu'jiza. What is mu'jiza? That's something which happens metaphysically. That happened? Say, metaphysically. Now physics or rules of physics are applicable to creature or to the creator. To creature, not to the creator. Creator is not subject to physics or laws of physics or physical world. So that's why when he wants or he wills, he stopped the water. It didn't drown Musa alayhi salatu wasalam and Israel. When he willed, so the fire did not burn Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. And the same thing which I was telling you, Sayyidina Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas radiyallahu ta'ala an, who was leading the army there in Iraq. He conquered the area in Qadisiyah. In Betla? Qadisiyah. And Qadisiyah, as you know, that is the border city of Jordan. Because you are Arab, you know that. Got it? And with the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I visited Ardul Quran. I visited Ardul Quran only to observe that what was there, which was that place, and things like that. So anyhow, Qadisiyah is the border city of Jordan. And when you cross over the border toward Iraq, so the first city there is the same Qadisiyah. But this portion is called Roveshid. This portion is called Roveshid. So anyhow, that portion is called Qadisiyah. Up till now even. So when that area was conquered, Sahaba Rizwanullah alayhim ajma'in, they conquered the area under the leadership of two Sahaba. One was the general and second one you call him Deputy General, Assistant General or Vice Army General. And his name was General was Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas. His vice, his naib, his assistant in this battlefield was Sayyidina Salman al-Farisi radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. Got it? And Sayyidina Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, in the accomplishing job time, he was not feeling good. He was suffering from very hard fever. Yes? So he was lying there on a bed on an elevated place to watch and look at the army fighting in the flat area with the enemies. And he tied his horse there with a tree. At that time, Abu Mahjan al-Saqafi, he was one of the fighting general in the battlefield as well. But he drank some nabiz al-tabar, but that was alcoholic. It turned to alcoholic because this type of thing, if you squeeze it and you will put it somewhere in a hot place, automatically it will turn to be alcoholic. You don't know, but when you will drink it, you will become drunk. Got it? So that happened to Abu Mahdi al-Saqafi radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. So Sayyidina Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he said that now the battle is going on. At this time, to punish him and give him had, that is not okay. That is not, and that's why all four school of jurisprudence, they are of the view, in a battlefield, a Muslim mujahid, he drank some khamr or alcoholic drink. So there in the battlefield, you should not give him the punishment and the had. Suspend it until the job is done. Because if at that time, you will punish him. Maybe the enemies will use that against the Muslim general and the Muslim leader, and they can create a fitna to that. That is called al-hikmat al-amaliyya. It's called what? Al-hikmat al-amaliyya. So Sayyidina Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he said that tie him to a tree, and later on I will ask the Khalifa what should be done. Now Abu Mahdi, he was also in the elevated place, but behind a wall. So therefrom he was watching that battle is going on, and when the Muslims were attacking the non-Muslims and the enemies, so he was thinking, oh my God, why am I tied here? You know what the spirit, the Imani spirit. He said, oh my God, I wish to be there, to fight for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to use my bravery for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The wife of Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas radiyallahu ta'ala anhu was passing by. She says, if you will do me a favor. He said, what? So he said that our general, he is on his bed. Fight is going on. We need every single soldier there to be in fighting. I am tied here because I did wrong, or wrong happened. If you will untie me, if you will untie me, and you will give me this horse of general and his soul to go there and to fight, I promise, I will come back. You will tie me again. The general will not know that for some time he was untied and he went there. So she did it. And she didn't tell Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. So she untied him. He got the horse, mounted on, took the sword of the general, went to the battlefield, started fighting. Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, there time and again he was looking at that horse. But from a distance, he was unable to recognize that that's my horse. So he said to his wife, who is that? So she said, Abdul min ibadillah, a slave from the slaves of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he said that al-farasu ka-farasi al-balqa. But the way this horse is jumping there in the battlefield, looking like my own horse, balqa. Its name was balqa. That's what a white faras, or a white horse, looking like balqa. And the man who is mounting and fighting, looking like Abu Mahjan. but my horse is tied there behind the wall, and Abu Mahjan as well. So that's called ta'amiyah. It's called what? Ta'amiyah. To keep something secret and to express it in such a way that the proper and real story is not disclosed. Because Sahaba Rizwanullahi alayhi ajma'in, they were telling lies.
No.
Because they were mahfuzin. I said to our brothers in Dars that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is munazzah. Anbiya and Rasul alayhi salawat wa taslimat, they are ma'asum. And Sahaba, they were mahfuz. Three different terms in ilmul kalam. Allah is munazzah. A messenger of Allah, he is ma'asum. And a Sahabi of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is mahfuz. Because if you will blame Sahaba for certain things, so it means that you are disconnecting your connection to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. If somebody is not mahfuz, how you can believe that what he narrates that's real from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam? But to tell you one thing, my respected brothers, they, Sahaba Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'in, they were Muslims because of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. They accepted his message. But all of us, we are Muslims because of Sahaba. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has ever came to Egypt? No. But Egypt is a Muslim country or not? Majority of population there, they are Muslims or non-Muslims? Muslims. But Muslims because of who? Because of Sahaba Amr bin al-As radiyallahu ta'ala an. The man who opened the access to Africa. Last night I was asking that who opened the access to Africa? Yes. So they said Amr bin al-As radiyallahu ta'ala an. So then I asked them that who proceeded furthermore? So then they got stuck. Yes. In remaining Africa, that who was going ahead from Egypt? Abdullah ibn Sa'd ibn Abi Sarah radiyallahu ta'ala an. And I said that who furthermore? So once again they stopped by saying Uqba ibn Nafi radiyallahu ta'ala an. And Uqba ibn Nafi, when he arrived at the beach of the ocean, so he put his horse there in the ocean. And when the horse jumped into the water, two legs, that's in the water, two on the land. So he controlled it. And he looked like this. He said that, Wallah, you know, إِنَّكَ عَلِيمٌ بِذَاتِ الصُّدُورِ. We have given our word to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that we will go everywhere to convey your message in any possible way. So now, for me, the possible way in accordance with the laws of physics, yes, to go on the dry land and earth wherever I can. And I did it. But now in front of me there is ocean. I don't have any ship. I don't have any ship to take my army with me and to cross over the ocean and to conquer that area. But as a promise, I put my horse there in the ocean. If it was possible, I would have crossed over. So my dear respected brothers, in Islam, Sayyidina Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas radiyallahu ta'ala, he said it. Later on when the job was done and Qazi was conquered, so his wife told him, to tell you the truth, this was the story that Abu Mahjan, I said that, what a pain he is feeling, that the fight is going on for the sake of Allah and he in the ropes he is. I said, oh my God, I wish if I was there. So then he asked me, I gave him your horse and I gave him your sword. He mounted it and that he was fighting, you were looking at. But distance, you couldn't recognize neither him, even though you said, maybe that is my faras and my horse Balqa, and maybe the mountain person that is Abu Mahjan al-Saqafi, because I know that how this general is fighting. So now Sa'd ibn Waqqas radiyallahu ta'ala, he wrote a letter to Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala, what should be done? This is the whole story. Yes, the whole story. So Sayyidina Umar radiyallahu ta'ala suspended the punishment of Sayyidina Abu Mahjan al-Saqafi radiyallahu ta'ala, that such a person who is sacrificing his life for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that is suspended anyhow. My dear respected brothers in Islam, so Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiyallahu ta'ala, he became Khalifa. Then after him, Sayyidina Abu Bakr himself, he nominated and appointed Sayyidina Umar radiyallahu ta'ala. That's how the Muslim society was built up. There, how he became Khalifa. I am not taking too much of your time. For how long can I speak?
The whole thing.
Okay, Jazakallah, Mubarakallah. So anyhow, my dear respected brothers in Islam, look at me. Sayyidina Umar came to Abu Bakr, Adrik Hazil Ummah, that this Ummah is going towards a division regarding Khilafah, so you can help the Ummah. So he said, what do you mean? He said, let's go there. So he got him, bringing him with him to Saqifa Banu Sa'ida. On their way, another famous Sahabi, one of the Ashara al-Mubashshara. I was aware of that his grave is there in Jordan, but I didn't know where that is. The taxi driver, I asked him, do you know that where is Abu Ubaidah bin Jarrah? He said, somewhere, but I have never visited. So we were coming back from Al-Bahr al-Mayyit, from Dead Sea. So suddenly I saw the lawha, Dharih, Sayyidina Abu Ubaidah bin Jarrah, Amir al-Ummah, Dharih Amir al-Ummah, Abu Ubaidah bin Jarrah. So I said, oh, he's here. We took an exit and we went straight to Abu Ubaidah bin Jarrah, radiyallahu ta'ala. I said, a great man, radiyallahu, a great man. Every one of the Sahaba of Fazlullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they were great. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala certified them. أولئك الذين هداهم الله فبهداه مقتدي. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, these Sahaba of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, hadahumullah, Allah guided them, فَبِهُدَاهُ مُقْتَدِي. So guide them in their guidance. Guide them. In Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is to be followed because of his personality. In person, whatever he has done, so you have to follow him. And a Sahabi must be followed in his guidance. And that's what Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayh, he was asked by his students that regarding disputed issue. So Imam rahmatullahi alayh, you must memorize this saying of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. So he said, in kana fi kitabillah fabir ras wal ayn. If an issue is crystal clear without any dispute in the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so can you put aside the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? He said, from the bottom of our heart, we will follow that. Where the differences are coming, when there is a 2 or 3 different explanation and interpretation of an ayah. So one Imam has taken one interpretation, the other one has taken another interpretation. None of them has ever put anything in deen from their own. That is haram, that is kufr, that's a disbelief, because they were not shari'. Imam Tamal Barakatuk, yes, they were not shari', they were shari'. Only one ayn and ha. That they were not shari', they were what? They were shari'. So my dear respected brothers in Islam, so anyhow, Imam Abu Hanifa said, كان في كتاب الله والأمر واضح فبالرأس والعين. From the bottom of our heart. وإن كان في سنة رسوله. If that is crystal clear, without any dispute in interpretation or explanation, فبالرأس والعين. وإن كان من الصحابة. And if the issue is from Sahaba, رضوان الله عليهم أجمعين, فنأخذ بقلب من نشاء. We are not dropping all of them. We are taking the saying of one Sahabi. So is there any dispute if somebody is following the saying of Umar ibn Khattab, another is following the saying of Sayyidina Uthman ibn Affan? Say, both of them are okay or wrong? Say, okay. Both of them are? Okay. Loud. Okay. Okay, Jazakumullah khair. وإن كان من الصحابة ولهم في خلاف فنأخذ بقول من نشاء إن الله اختارني واختار لي أصحابي فجعلهم أصحابي وأصهاري وهم كنجوم السماء للاهتداء فبأيهم اقتديتم اهتديتم أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. Adilami narrated this hadith. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, now keep in mind, some muhaddithin, they said that hadith narration chain wise is za'if. So za'if is hadith, that's not a mawzu'. That's not a fabrication. Like, let me give you an example. When a alim, for the purpose of academics, he said that hadith is za'if, so we think that like somebody falsified it or fabricated it. That is not the case. The case is like this: a healthy human and a sick human. A healthy man and a sick man. Now, a sick man, if he is not feeling good, so it means that he is lying on the ground or on his bed. Yes, turning around on his side. Can we say that he is sick, so he did not remain a man or a human? Say. Can we say? He human. 100%. Same is the case of hadith is da'if. And this dha'f of hadith or sihha of hadith, that is not something mansoos. That's not something mansoos in text of Quran and Sunnah. If a hadith is da'if and sahih, Rasulullah said it, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or Allah said it in Quran. Yes, that is the tahqiq and the research of muhaddiseen. Tahqiq and research of muhaddiseen. And very rarely in text of hadith, but mostly in narration chain of hadith. I have written a book in this regard for references, which is called Dirayatul Riwayah. The book is named as Dirayatul Riwayah. So in Diraya, I mentioned there all these details that hadith, and this is not a case that is da'if, hadith is da'if to all muhaddiseen. Yes, the tahqiq and research of one muhaddis says this is da'if, another one says that is sahih. Got it? And sometimes we just like this, oh, this hadith is sahih and this is da'if. So I don't say this is sahih or da'if. I pose a question, a counter question. That brother, if you will define hadith is sahih, then I will be able to mention that this is sahih or this is da'if. Now nobody knows that what is hadith sahih. Because the word sahih and sahih, that is not a word, that's a term. That's not a word? That's a term. A word, you have to know the meaning from dictionary. But a term, you have to know the definition from Ahlul Fan, Ahlul Istilah, from Muhaddiseen, that what they mean by sahih and what they mean by da'if. So anyhow, I said, brother, don't be that brave, jumping on the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam like this. What's your authority? How can you say that? What's your mablagul ilm? How can you say that? Don't be brave like this. So anyhow, my dear respected brothers, Imam Rahmatullahi alayhi, he said, وَإِنْ كَانَ مِنَ الصَّحَابَةِ وَلَهُمْ فِيهِ خِلَافٌ فَنَأْخُذُ بِقَوْلِ مَنْ نَشَاءُ وَإِنْ كَانَ عَمَّنْ بَعْدَ الصَّحَابَةِ. If the hadith or the amal or the riwayah or the narration, that is from tabi'een. From who? From tabi'een. So Imam Rahmatullahi alayhi said, فَهُمْ رِجَالٌ وَنَحْنُ رِجَالٌ. They are men and we are men. They are men. And they were bound to explain, and we are bound to explain as well. But only Imam Abu Hanif, Imam Shafi, Ahmad ibn Hanbal, Imam Malik, Sufyan ibn Uyayna, Sufyan Sawri, Ali ibn Madini, Lays ibn Sa'ad, and these people can say such like saying, me and you, we cannot say. What is the word of ilm? So my dear respected brothers in Islam, anyhow Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab radiyallahu ta'ala, he brought Abu Bakr there radiyallahu ta'ala their way towards Saqifa ibn Sa'ida. Abu Ubaidah was sitting there on the ground, very upset, very sad, because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed away. And you know the love of Sahaba with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. With his indication, they were sacrificing their life or not. To them, the desire of the Prophet was like a commandment and order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let me tell you one thing. There's one Sahabi, his name is Khurayma al-Asadi. What's his name? Khurayma al-Asadi. So, he was a handsome man. He paused in front of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam there in masjid. He had long hair on his shoulders. Long hair on his shoulders. And he was having his izar covering his ankles. So Prophet ﷺ, when he was passing by, he said to Sahaba, نِعْمَ الرَّجُلْ خُرَيْمَةُ الْأَسَدِ لَوْلَا جُمَّتُهُ وَإِسْبَالُ إِزَارِهِ. نِعْمَ الرَّجُلْ خُرَيْمَةُ الْأَسَدِ لَوْلَا جُمَّتُهُ وَإِسْبَالُ إِزَارِهِ. A nice man and a good man, Khurayma al-Asadi is, if he did not have those much long hairs, not covering his ankles. So a Sahabi stood up and he followed him. There he caught him. He said, do you know what the Prophet said? Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, I don't know. I didn't hear. He said, when you pass by. So Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, نِعْمَ الرَّجُلْ خُرَيْمَةُ الْأَسَدِ لَوْلَا جُنْبَتُهُ وَإِسْبَالُ إِزَارِهِ. So he said it. He said, of course. He went out and went to a barber. They cut it here. Because Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said it, cut it here. So he cut his hair and izar to bring it up. It was very easy. As he did it like this, he brought it here. And then he came. He didn't say anything to the Prophet ﷺ, passed in front of him. And Prophet ﷺ fatabassam. Rasulullah ﷺ smiled and he said to Sahaba, look, I told you that Khuraym Asadi is a nice man. If he did not have the Jummah and he did not have covered his ankles with his izar, that how practical he is. He heard it from a Sahabi, he went, that was the case of Sahaba Rizwanullahi alayhi. So anyhow, my dear respected brothers, they were in love with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. To tell you only one thing, look at me, how big a love was. You know the story of Battle of Uhud? You know that? Yes? Of course, if not in detail. So briefly, everybody knows that what happened in Uhud. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَلَقَدْ صَدَقَكُمُ اللَّهُ وَعْدَهُ إِسْتَحْسُونَهُمْ بِإِذْنِهِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I promise you that I will give you victory. So in the very beginning, in Battle of Uhud, Sahaba became victorious or not? Yeah. Say, and they put the people of Makkah on run or not? They ran out of the battlefield. They ran out of the battlefield. But later on, what happens? From Jabal Aynain or Aynain, from Jabal al-Rumad, inshallah, where the 50 archers were standing there. Prophet ﷺ put them there on Jabal al-Rumad, that you have to be here so they may not attack us from back. But when they defeated them, so now on Jabal al-Rumad, 40 Sahaba, they differed with their Amir. Who was the Amir there? Abdullah ibn Jubayr, raziyallahu ta'ala. They said, Amir, now there is no need of standing here. And our brothers, they fought wholeheartedly until they defeated them. So now we should go there to collect the spoils of war because they are tired. So we should help them. He said, no. As long as Prophet ﷺ has not allowed us to come down, so we should not go. So he said, but there is no. That is called Al-Ijtihad fi Muqabalat al-Nas. I have written a book that is called Bidayat al-Fuhul fi Ilm al-Usul. Bidayat al-Fuhul fi Ilm al-Usul. So there is a chapter and topic on Ijtihad fi Muqabalat al-Nas. Any deduction against the text of Quran and Hadith, that is null and void. If a mujtahid will do any deduction, but anyhow, he did deduction, either he was not aware of that text or its application, or some reason was there, so still he would be rewarded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even though the ijtihad is wrong. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, a Qazi who made his ijtihad in asaba, falahu ajran, wa in akhta'a, falahu ajrul wahid. If he approached what is meant there, so he will get 2 rewards. And if he made a mistake, so he will be getting 1 reward because he made his efforts. So anyhow, they came down, and then the victory was gone. We should not call it defeat, because defeat is a thing that you are unable to follow your enemy and to face them again. But the next day, right away, the very next day, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he announced there, even though Sahaba, they were injured. 70 Sahaba, they got martyred there in the Battle of Uhud. Prophet ﷺ said, we have to follow them. They are on their way back to Makkah. Maybe they have become courageous. They will make a U-turn, attack our city. So who is ready? So Sahaba said, all of us. In such like situation, people are ready to go out to follow their enemy. So yesterday we got killed. Why we should go? And Prophet ﷺ went after them to Hamra al-Asad. But when they came to know that they had followed us, yeah, they ran away. Because some of them, they say, we should not have left them like this. We should have followed them until Medina to fight them there, to get rid of them once for all. Yes, so Safwan ibn Umayyah, at that time, he was not Muslim. Safwan ibn Umayyah. So he said to them, they don't do this stupidity. This is a foolish act. Now, if you will enter the city of Medina, even their woman will be fighting us and none of us will come out alive. So don't do, let's go to Makkah. When Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he came to know it, Safwan said it like this. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, his aql is very naive. His aql is very naive, but at least this talk of him that was right. As we say in Urdu, कि है तो वो आदमी कमाता, लेकिन उसने ये बात अकलमंदी की है. Yes, that's this. So anyhow, my dear respected brothers in Islam, so Sayyidina Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, he became Khalifa, he built up the community. He built it up or not? Say. Number one, then Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, he was aware of that a dispute will happen after my death. He appointed Umar radiallahu anhu to keep the community going on their development. Got it? And later on, Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu, he appointed a shura of 6 Sahaba, those who remained alive still from Ashara al-Mubashara, that they have to appoint one of them and then to vote in his favor. Then if they have a dispute, so they should vote. Who will take the majority vote, he will become Khalifa. So this development must be going on constantly and continuously. But anyhow, coming back to the point that how we can build up our community. So I have recited Surah Al-Asr, which is the short surah of Holy Quran. We call it 4-point agenda of Holy Quran. Muslim society and community is to be based upon these 4 points. That is the proper foundation, the proper development, and the proper promotion of Muslim community. What Asr? Asr, that is the time of Asr. Number one. And Asr, that is the time and the Zaman as well. And Zaman, without human, does not have any value. Zaman and Makan became precious because of humans. Because before human, there was no any creature who were bound to follow Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah created the human, and because of them, the Zaman and Makan, the space and time, both got its value. And it became valuable. As we say, Tarafatul Makani bil Makin. Tarafatul Makan bil Makin. So my dear respected brothers, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Wal Asr. So what is time? That is the human history. That I swear by human history. Inna l-insana lafi khusr. That all humans, they are in a very big loss. Inna l-insana lafi khusr. They are in a big loss. Illa allazina amanu. But not those who are found in aqidah wa amilu salihat, righteous indeed, wa tawasaw bil haqq. And they are enjoining one another to take a stand on haqq, wa tawasaw bil sabr, and they are enjoining one another that if you are facing any hardship in this regard, don't be disheartened and disappointed, be stable and be patient. So these 4 things. Number 1, strength of belief. Number 2, righteous good deed. Number 3, encouraging one another for the set purpose. Number 4, encouraging one another and enjoining one another to show patience and stability. In the same way, the development is taking place and the society is becoming stronger day by day. But as I mentioned in the very beginning, that the establishment of a society or development of a society must be on the base of deen, not on the cost of deen. On the base of deen, not on the cost of deen. So many people will get together if we will relax the rules of Sharia, like, okay, this is that side, I will touch you that. No, that is not the case. We must make right and wrong. As a famous saying in English language is that might is right. But Islam does not say that. Islam says right. So we have to speak out that right is right, and that what we call al-amr bil ma'ruf wa nahy 'anil munkar. The last point, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Kayfa bikum idha fasaqat fityanukum wa taqat nisa'ukum." What will be your situation and form of life when your youngsters, they will become fasiq, and your woman, they will become disobedient. They will become disobedient. They say, it will happen, Ya Rasulullah. Rasulullah said, "Akbaru min hadha wa ashaddu min hadha." Much more than that. So they were listening to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Kayfa bikum idha taraktumul amra bil ma'ruf wan nahy 'anil munkar." How will be your condition and situation when you will say bye-bye to amr bil ma'ruf and nahy 'anil munkar? They say, "Awakainu hadha." Because at that time, they were not conceiving that Muslim will be there, he will not be doing amr bil ma'ruf and nahy 'anil munkar. Because that's the duty of Muslim in general. وَلْتَكُمْ مِنْكُمْ أُمَّةٌ كُنْتُمْ خَيْرَ أُمَّةٍ أُخْرِجَتْ لِلنَّاسِ تَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَتَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنكَرِ. So they said, it will happen. Prophet ﷺ said, وَأَشَدُّ مِنْ ذَلِكَ. So then Prophet ﷺ said, كَيْفَ بِكُمْ إِذَا أَمَرْتُمْ بِالْمُنكَرِ وَنَهَيْتُمْ عَنِ الْمَعْرُوفِ. What will be your condition when you will enjoin people to do prohibited thing and you will stop them from something which is good? So they say, it will happen. Prophet ﷺ said, وَأَشَدُّ مِنْ ذَلِكَ. Much more than that. كيف بكم إذا رأيتم المعروف منكرا والمنكر معروفا. What will be your condition when your IQ will get changed and you will bad things, you will be thinking and considering good, and good things you will be thinking of it that is bad. So please, please, and please, you are nice people. Be strict to thee. Whatever is right, no compromise. Say, but nicely. That's not a matter of fight. That brother, you are a Muslim, alhamdulillah, Allah bless you with Iman. But this practice is not allowed in Sharia. We must avoid this. Got it? And if somebody, he is lazy in practicing Sharia so nicely. Prophet ﷺ was asked by one Sahabi, Radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, Ayyul Ashab khair, that which one of my companion or friends is the best one? Rasulullah ﷺ said, Allazi, إِذَا ذَكَرْتَ اللَّهَ أَعَانَكَ وَإِذَا نَسِيتَهُ ذَكَّرَكَ. That one, when you are doing dini work, so he is supporting you. But if you will forget about that, so he is reminding you that we are Muslims. We have to do that. And then Prophet ﷺ, Sahabi asked the Prophet ﷺ, وَأَيُّ النَّاسِ خَيْرٌ? That, who of the people is the best one? Rasulullah ﷺ said, that one, again, إِذَا ذَكَرْتَ اللَّهَ عَانَكَ وَإِذَا نَسِيتَهُ ذَكَّرَكَ. Then he said, وَأَيُّ النَّاسِ شَرٌ? Who are the bad and worst people? So Rasulullah ﷺ said, Al-ulama إِذَا فَسَقُوا. Ulama, when they will become fasiq. How a alim become fasiq? Very rarely he will be getting involved there in illegitimate sex or things like that. But the great fisq of a alim is that he is looking for wealth in a legitimate way or illegitimate way, in a lawful way or unlawful way. Then he will not be able to do amr bil ma'ruf wa nahy 'anil munkar. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin wa sallallahu ta'ala ala khayri khalqihi Muhammadin wa alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Barakallahu feekum. And once again, I am very thankful to all of you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala